Welcome to volume 28 of Nintendo Switch games that I definitely believe you should buy before they become rare and expensive. There's one game on today's list that just released recently, which I'm incredibly stoked to talk about. So without further ado, feel free to sit back, relax, and let's dive into it. The first game I want to talk about today is Lost Epic. So this game I actually got from playasia.com, and inside the cases, which I'll show you the art as well, that beautiful inside the case art, and it comes with this little mini art book here, as well as this collectible card. And apparently not every single one of these games comes with a holographic card, and mine did, by surprise. So that's really cool, making it even more valuable. So I'm just gonna say this right off the bat, this is hands down one of the best 2D platformer games I've ever played. Lost Epic is a 2D side-scrolling action RPG about the war between false gods and humanity. You become a knight and set out across the sanctuaries to overthrow the 6 false gods of the world. The first thing I want to touch on are the beautiful graphics and the amazing music. This game is a true masterpiece in my opinion. Plus there's tons of different characters and avatars you can choose from, ranging from knights, princesses, skeletons, as well as monsters. The gameplay is insanely smooth and looks amazing on the Switch OLED. The attention to detail is outstanding. Surprisingly, the lore gets really deep, which makes you more invested into the game. So yeah, if you're into 2D action RPGs with beautiful music and a bunch of fun characters to play as, you're definitely gonna love this game. I highly recommend checking this one out. Game number 2 is gonna be Tormented Souls. This is an amazing classic survival horror. In this game you play as Caroline Walker as she hunts for missing twin girls in an abandoned mansion. While investigating the disappearance of the twin girls at Winter Lake, something terrible happens to Caroline. Waking up in the dead of night, she finds herself hooked up to this old outdated mechanical equipment in a bathtub. Caroline must fight for her life as she explores the mansion as well as saving these 2 girls. So for this one, I'm going to start off saying that this is hands down one of the best classic survival horror games out there. There's many similarities to Resident Evil, Silent Hill, as well as Fatal Frame. The story, the gameplay, the fixed camera angles, the puzzles, the horror, the sense of dread and suspense, everything about this game in my opinion is a 10 out of 10. This game feels like it was made back in the 2000s, but with today's graphics. Also a fun fact, Tormented Souls 2 is coming out either at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So this is actually a great time to pick this game up. So yeah, if you're a fan of classic survival horror like myself, you're definitely gonna love this game. This is another great game to add to your collection. Game number 3 is gonna be Some Convenience Store, which I got from playasia.com, and it came with a soundtrack. Let me grab that. Here is the soundtrack, which is actually really good. This game is yet another unique and wacky experience brought to you by the brilliant minds of Japan. This game is a visual novel, a management sim, as well as a dating sim, where you help manage a convenience store with 3 beautiful women. So the story starts off with you playing as this guy who's in his younger 20s, and you're working at a convenience store. Well, towards the end of your shift, you get bored and you start thinking to yourself, man, I really wish I had a girlfriend, blah blah. Well anyways, you end up scrolling through your phone and you find this app called Sum. I don't want to get too deep into the story because it's really fun when you go into it blindly, but basically, after using the app, these 3 girls show up. One of them ends up getting a job there, which the main character definitely finds interesting. Like I said, I don't want to go too far into the story because I want you guys to experience this one on your own, but I definitely think this is a fun and unique experience that everyone's going to enjoy. And yes, there's a little bit of fan service in this game, although it doesn't consume the whole game. There's actually a lot of wholesome moments. The graphics and art in this game are awesome. But yeah, like I was saying, this is a visual novel as well as a management sim, so you're going to be working in this convenience shop and managing it. You have to order items, set up displays, set up fun promotions like buy one get ones. It's really cool. And it's also a dating sim too, so it kind of lets you choose on which girl you want to date, their personalities, all that kind of fun stuff. And there's tons of stories too, so as you progress throughout the game, your store makes money, which in turn makes you money, which allows you to date these girls and go on dates and have fun and extend the story basically. It's honestly kind of hard to explain, but once you start playing this game, you're definitely gonna know what I'm talking about. This is actually my first management sim game, and I think it's pretty cool. If you're into visual novels as well as management sims and dating sims, you're definitely going to enjoy this game. This is another great one that I highly recommend checking out. Especially for the price too. On playasia.com you can find it for around $23. That's a solid deal if you ask me. Game number 4 is going to be Ori. This is hands down one of the most beautiful games I have ever played. The beautiful graphics, the music, the gameplay, this is a 10 out of 10 experience. The graphics and art are some of the best I've ever seen in any video game. For a platformer, this is top tier. This game tells the tale of a young orphan destined for heroics through a visually stunning action platformer crafted by Moon Studios, featuring hand-painted artwork, meticulously animated character performance, a fully orchestrated score, and dozens of new features. Ori and the Blind Forest explores a deeply emotional story about love and sacrifice, and the hope that exists in us all. So yeah, if you're into platformer games with beautiful graphics as well as music and very smooth gameplay, you're definitely going to love this game. This is a must play that I believe everybody's going to enjoy. Be sure to add it to your list. And last but not least is the game that I mentioned at the beginning of this video that just recently released that I'm incredibly stoked to talk about, and that is Emio, the Smiling Man. So this game is actually part of the Famicom Detective series. I believe there's 2 games before this. There might be 3, but I'm pretty sure there's only 2 games. Me personally, I have not tried those games yet, which I'm really stoked to try, but this game is my first entry into the series. In this game, a student named Asuki has been found dead in a chilling fashion with a smiley face paper bag over his head. This unsettling visage bears a striking resemblance to a reoccurring clue in a string of unsolved murders from 18 years ago, as well as the urban legend Emio, aka the Smiling Man, who is a serial killer set to grant his victims a permanent smile. Does the Smiling Man really exist, or is this a new culprit continuing his legacy? As a member of the detective agency, you've been tasked with investigating the events that led to Asuki's death. Along the way, scrutinize the clues and testimonies you gather for other potential connections to the gruesome events of the past. This game is a horror visual novel, and it is absolutely amazing. It's definitely worth all the hype. It's very unique as well. The art style is incredible. It's not like most VNs where you have one image and it just stays there, but the images move quite often. It feels more alive. When you play the game, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. The story itself is very well paced and instantly grabs your attention. It really puts you into the mind of a detective and the thrills that come with it. And I will say, it's definitely creepy at times. There's a good reason why this game is rated M. I'm a few hours into this game, and I gotta say, it's truly amazing. You are gonna love it. This is another great one you definitely have to add to your list. So there's one more bonus game that I want to talk about, which I believe went under the radar for a lot of people, and that game is Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. So surprisingly, there wasn't actually a lot of promotion for this game, which I'm not sure why, because Dark Moon is awesome, and this game runs incredible on the Switch, and I will say that Dark Moon is my favorite Luigi's Mansion game. I feel like this HD version wasn't a game that we asked for, but they gave it to us anyway, and you know what, I'll gladly take it. And this is an excellent HD version of the original game. They didn't overdo it, which is perfect. All they did was modernize the gameplay as well as the graphics, and that's all we need. Luigi's Mansion 1 and 3 are still very good games, don't get me wrong, but for me personally, Dark Moon was like the perfect Luigi's Mansion game. The vibe, the atmosphere, the gameplay. If you have not played Dark Moon yet, I highly recommend doing so, especially now that it's on the Switch. You are definitely gonna love it. With Halloween right around the corner, this is a great time to hop into this game. You're gonna have a blast, I promise you. Alright, well there you have it. There's some more Switch games that I definitely recommend checking out before they become rare and expensive. If there's other games you guys recommend that I check out as well, please let me know in the comments below. I'm into anything and everything the Nintendo Switch has to offer. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe. With that being said, hope you guys have an amazing day, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Happy gaming, and God bless. Peace.